Now that we've seen Vasubandhu's negative argument, let's take a look at what he has to say positively in favour of the claim that there are no real ordinary objects, only appearances. His argument appeals to the mereology of ordinary objects, where mereology is the study of parts and wholes. A mereological question, for example, might be, how are the wings of a fly related to the fly itself? Vasubandhu is concerned with atoms, which here is to be read as a technical, philosophical word, not necessarily as a scientific word, although the words might be related. An atom, in Vasubandhu's sense, is the smallest possible part of an object. So you can imagine us breaking down our table into parts, first maybe its legs and its surface, and then breaking those parts up into smaller parts. We would get an atom when we reach a part which cannot be broken up any further. With this concept in mind, Vasubandhu's basic argument will run like this. If there was a real table, it would have to be composed in one of the following three ways. First, it does not have parts. It is a simple, partless, spatially extended object. Or it does have parts, and then we have one of two options. 2, it is a collection of ununified atoms, so the parts are not joined together. Or 3, it is a collection of unified atoms, the parts are joined together. Vasubandhu argues that the table could not possibly be composed in any of those three ways, so there is no real table. We won't go in detail here into each of his arguments against 1 through 3 since they are quite complicated. Here, though, is a taste of one of his arguments, an argument against 3, the claim that the table is a collection of unified atoms. So on this view that we're about to look at, the atoms would all need to be joined together. Okay, so imagine what you see in front of you now is an atom. According to the unification view, a table is a collection of unified atoms. So how are we going to join these atoms together? Well, imagine that first we begin by attaching this extra atom to the first atom. Maybe we add a few more atoms. A new green one is joined on, a new purple one. Great, now we have this unified collection of atoms. At each of these kind of connecting points, the atoms are joined. Vasubandhu's objection to this kind of procedure is roughly the following. Each of the new atoms has to be connected to the original atom at separate parts. They can't all be connected at the same place. So as you see in this image here, I've divided the atom up so you can see each segment at which the new atoms are connected. However, recall that when we defined atom, what it is to be an atom is to have no parts. It would be impossible for each of these new atoms to be connected at separate points on the original atom. So the unification view, Vasubandhu suggests, is not possible. So having seen the argument for the claim that there cannot be such a thing as a real table, Vasubandhu's main claim ends up being the more general position that there are no ordinary objects. Everything is mere appearance or just collections of ideas. What you see is all you get. The introduction to the Norton Anthology chapter on appearance and reality compares Vasubandhu's view to the claim that we exist in a simulation. The Sims is a popular life simulation video game in which, of course, the simulated individuals do not exist outside of the computer. Just as our appearances, Vasubandhu thinks, are mind-dependent, they do not exist outside of the mind. For an interesting take on whether we might actually be living in a computer simulation ourselves, read the featured paper by Nick Bostrom.
So, is there really a bauble here? Or is it just a sense data? A patch of red? Find out in I don't feel very well.
That was so weird.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I am. I think we actually got a good take. I'm gonna go start editing, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Next week is our last topic, the meaning of life. Read Nagel for Monday. Remember, there's a quiz due on Friday, the very last quiz of the course. And course evaluations are open. Your feedback is very much appreciated. I'll see you next week.